Alexandra "Alex" Monroe was 24, living the dream most people in small-town Ohio could only imagine. She had escaped the Rust Belt decay of Dayton by getting a full ride to NYU for journalism. By senior year, she was interning at a major online outlet, dating a sweet finance guy named Ryan, and planning a post-grad move to Brooklyn. Life felt linear, predictable, safe. That changed on a humid August night in 2023. It was a rooftop party in Williamsburg. Someone from her internship had invited her. The music was loud, the drinks flowed freely, and Alex had 3 cocktails too many. She remembered laughing with friends, then feeling dizzy, someone guiding her to a quiet corner. Then blackness. She woke up in a stranger's bed, clothes torn, body aching in ways that made her stomach turn. The man, tall, blonde, smirking, was already dressed, scrolling on his phone like nothing happened. His name was Ethan Caldwell, 28, son of a hedge fund billionaire and rising star in venture capital. He looked at her with mild annoyance. "You were all over me last night," he said casually. "Don't make this weird." Alex tried to speak, but her throat was raw. She stumbled to the bathroom, vomited, saw the bruises on her thighs, the blood. She took photos with shaking hands. Evidence, instinct told her. Then she left without another word. The next days blurred. She went to the hospital, got a rape kit. The detective assigned to her case was sympathetic but blunt. "It's he said, she said. No witnesses. He has money for lawyers. You were drinking. It won't be easy." It wasn't. Ethan's team moved fast. They produced texts, flirty ones from earlier in the night, that painted her as willing. Photos from the party showed her smiling, arm around him. They leaked rumors to campus gossip sites. NYU intern accuses VC heir after regrettable hookup. Friends distanced themselves. Ryan broke up with her over text. "I can't deal with this drama." The DA declined to prosecute. Insufficient evidence for conviction beyond reasonable doubt. Alex dropped out 2 months before graduation. She moved back to Dayton, into her mother's cramped apartment. She stopped sleeping. Nightmares came every night. The same rooftop, the same smirk. She drank to forget, then stopped eating. Her mother begged her to see a therapist. Alex went once, then never again. Talking felt like reliving it. But something shifted on the 1-year anniversary. She was scrolling late at night when she saw a news alert. Ethan Caldwell had just been named partner at his father's firm. A photo showed him at a gala, arm around a new girlfriend, smiling like the world was his. Rage, pure, white-hot, replaced the numbness. Alex stared at the screen for hours. Then she opened a new notebook. She wrote one line. "He took everything. Now I take it back." She began researching. Not therapy, not law, revenge. She learned about Ethan's life, his routines, his friends, his weaknesses. She created fake profiles on LinkedIn, Instagram, dating apps. Shadow accounts to watch, listen, learn. She discovered his pattern. Parties, hookups, always the same type. Young, ambitious, slightly drunk. She started small. First, anonymous tips to his company's HR about inappropriate behavior at office events. Nothing stuck, but it planted seeds of doubt. Second, she found his ex-girlfriends. 3 of them had similar stories: drugged, assaulted, silenced by NDAs and fear. Alex contacted them through burner accounts. 2 responded. 1 cried on a voice call. "I thought I was the only one." They formed a private group chat, the silent ones. Alex didn't tell them her full plan yet. She just listened, built trust. 6 months in, she moved to New York again, this time under a new name, new hair, dark red dye, new life. She got a low-profile job at a coffee shop near Ethan's office. She watched him every morning. Same black coffee, same smug nod to the barista. She waited. One night, she followed him to a bar in the financial district. He was with colleagues, laughing too loud. Alex sat at the end of the bar, nursing a soda, dressed in a way that would catch his eye. Tight dress, heels, makeup heavy but natural. He noticed her within 10 minutes. He approached with that same grin. "Hey, you look familiar. Have we met?" Alex smiled sweetly. "Maybe in another life." They talked. He bought her drinks. She pretended to sip. He suggested his place was just around the corner. She went. In his apartment, sleek, minimalist, views of the Hudson, she let him pour her a glass of wine. She watched him slip something into it when he thought she wasn't looking. She pretended to drink, then excused herself to the bathroom. When she came back, he was waiting, expectant. Alex set her glass down. "Ethan," she said softly, "do you remember me?" He frowned. "Should I?" She pulled out her phone, played a recording, his voice from that night 2 years ago, laughing. "You were all over me." His face changed. Recognition. Fear. "You," he whispered. Ryan Caldwell didn't sleep much anymore. His apartment in San Francisco's Mission District had become a war room. Multiple monitors, encrypted drives, burner phones, and a whiteboard covered in names, timelines, and red strings connecting Nathan Blake to every dirty secret Ryan could unearth. The first leaks had done their job. Apex's stock had dipped another 12% in 2 weeks. The Chinese buyer was re-evaluating. Nathan was on damage control. Town halls, all-hands emails, promises of transparency. But Ryan knew Nathan. The man thrived on control. When control slipped, he lashed out. Ryan's next move: turn the employees. He contacted the ones Nathan had sidelined or fired. A former VP of engineering, Priya Singh, who'd been pushed out after questioning the valuation numbers. A senior dev, Jamal Carter, who'd seen the shell company invoices. They met in a quiet bar in Oakland. No cameras, cash only. Priya: "Nathan promised us all stock options, then diluted them to nothing when the new round came in." Jamal: "I have logs. Fake consulting fees to Nathan's brother. $2.3 million last year alone." Ryan listened. Then, "Help me." Anonymously. "We expose the fraud, the acquisition dies, Nathan falls." They agreed. Not for revenge, at first. For justice. But Ryan knew anger would grow. Within days, internal documents started leaking to tech journalists. Not Ryan's name, just sources close to Apex. The information ran apiece. Apex Dynamics under scrutiny for potential financial irregularities ahead of rumoured acquisition. The board panicked. Emergency meeting called. Nathan tried to spin it. Routine due diligence. But Ryan had one more card. He had kept the core algorithm's source code, his personal backup from before the ouster. Not the latest version, but enough to prove he was the architect. He contacted Quantum Shield's CEO, Elena Vasquez, a former mentor. Elena. Ryan, you're radioactive right now. Ryan. I have the original algo. Apex is selling a stolen empire. Help me build a competitor. I'll give you the code. Elena paused. Send proof. He sent redacted snippets. She replied, Let's talk. They met in a private room at a hotel in Mountain View. Elena brought her CTO. Ryan laid it out. Nathan's selling the company on my work. He pushed me out, diluted my shares, hid the fraud. I want to take it back. Not by force, by competition. Elena. You start a new company with us as backers. We beat Apex to market with your algo. Nathan's acquisition dies. Investors flee. Ryan nodded. And I get my name back. Deal struck. Quiet funding round. $15 million seed. New company. Sentinel Forge. Ryan as CTO. No public announcement yet. Meanwhile, Nathan's world cracked further. The Chinese buyer pulled out. Concerns over governance and financial transparency. Apex stock plunged 28% in a day. Nathan called an emergency all hands. Ryan watched the live stream from his new office. Nathan on camera. These are coordinated attacks by disgruntled former employees. We are stronger than ever. But his voice cracked. Eyes darted. Ryan sent an anonymous tip to the SEC. Potential securities fraud at Apex Dynamics. Shell companies, misstated financials. The SEC opened an informal inquiry. Nathan hired crisis PR, fired 2 more execs as scapegoats. Ryan's team grew. Priya joined Sentinel Forge as VP Engineering, Jamal as lead dev. More defectors followed, quietly. One night, Nathan showed up at Ryan's old apartment building. Security let him in. He still had friends. Ryan had moved. Nathan pounded on the wrong door. But Ryan had a camera. Recorded Nathan's rant to no one. You think you can destroy me, Ryan? I'll bury you. You're nothing. Ryan saved the footage. He uploaded it anonymously to Blind. Apex CEO losing it, screaming at empty apartment. Co-founder ghosted him. Viral in hours. Nathan's board called him in. We need stability. Nathan screamed at them too. Board members started resigning. Quietly. Ryan wasn't gloating yet. He knew Nathan would strike back. And Nathan did. A lawsuit landed on Ryan's new company. Trade secrets theft. Misappropriation of Apex IP. Nathan's lawyers claimed Ryan stole the algorithm. Ryan laughed. He had timestamps, original commits, Git history from his personal repo. His lawyer, now funded by Elena. This is bluff. We countersue for defamation, fraud, wrongful termination. The countersuit dropped. $500 million. Fraud, breach of fiduciary duty. Nathan's stock tanked another 15%. Investors fled. Apex was bleeding. Ryan sat in Sentinel Forge's small office, watching the ticker. Priya. You okay? Ryan. Not yet. He still has the company. Still has the name. Priya. Then take it. Ryan nodded. The endgame was coming. He opened a new encrypted file. Title: Final Blow. Inside, everything. Full financials, shell companies, emails, the algorithm proof. Nathan's meltdown video. One click away from public release. Ryan whispered, "You built your empire on my back. Now watch it turn to ashes." He hovered over send. Not yet. He wanted Nathan to feel the fear first. The escalation had only begun. Alexandra Munro, now going by Lena Voss in her new life, left Ethan's apartment at 3:47 a.m. The city was quiet, except for the distant hum of taxis and the occasional siren. She walked 10 blocks before hailing a cab, paid in cash, and had the driver drop her 3 streets from her tiny walk-up in the East Village. She climbed the stairs slowly, legs shaking from adrenaline, not fear. Inside her apartment, a one-room studio with peeling paint and a mattress on the floor, she locked the door, double-checked the deadbolt, then collapsed against it. Her hands trembled as she pulled out the small digital camera and the burner phone. She transferred the 3-hour confession video to an encrypted external drive, then made 3 copies. One stayed with her, hidden in a hollowed-out book on the shelf. One went to a safe deposit box under a fake name. The third she uploaded to a secure cloud server accessible only by a long passphrase she had memorized. She didn't sleep that night. Instead, she watched the footage twice, once with sound off, studying Ethan's face as it crumbled, once with sound, listening to every name he whispered through tears. There were 8 women he admitted to assaulting over 5 years. Some had filed reports and been silenced, others had never spoken. All had been threatened with ruin, careers, reputations, families. By dawn, Alex had a list. Sarah Klein, 26, marketing coordinator at a tech startup. Assaulted at a company retreat in 2021. Signed NDA after settlement. Mia Torres, 23, former model. Party in the Hamptons, 2022. Dropped out of public life after. Jordan Hale, 29, journalist. Similar to Alex. Roof party, blackout, no prosecution. And 5 more, including 2 from college years before Alex. She cross-referenced with the Silent Ones group chat. 2 of the names matched women who had responded to her outreach. The others were new. She messaged the group at 7:12 a.m. "Lena, I have something big. Video confession from the man who hurt several of us. Names, details. If you're ready, we can talk about next steps. No pressure. Your choice." Responses came slowly. Sarah, "Is it safe?" Mia, "Proof?" Jordan, "I'm in, whatever it takes." Alex arranged a virtual meeting for that evening. Encrypted video call, no faces on camera unless they wanted. She used a VPN and a burner laptop she had bought with cash. At 8 p.m, 4 women joined. Sarah, Mia, Jordan, and a 4th named Rebecca, who had been silent until now. Alex spoke first, voice steady. "I confronted him last night. I recorded everything. He named all of you. He cried. He begged. It's real." She played a 30-second clip, audio only, Ethan's voice cracking. "Sarah, I gave her something in her drink. She didn't want. Please don't tell anyone." Silence on the call. Then Jordan. "That's him. That's the same voice from my nightmare." Sarah whispered, "I thought I imagined it." Alex continued, "This isn't just about him anymore. He has friends who cover for him, enablers, people who knew and did nothing. His father funds half the startup scene in this city. His best friend runs security at parties where this happens. We can stop it all." The plan formed over the next hour. Slow, deliberate, careful. Step 1. Build the case airtight. Alex would compile the video, cross-reference with medical records, where available, social media timestamps, party invites. The women would contribute what they had: texts, photos, witness statements they had buried. Step 2. Go public. But smart. Not a single viral post. A coordinated release, anonymous website, encrypted drops to investigative journalists at the New York Times, Vice, and a feminist legal collective. Include redacted versions of the video to protect identities. Step 3. Target the circle. Start with Ethan's inner ring, the ones who laughed while he hunted. The first name on that list, Tyler Grant, 30, Ethan's college roommate and current business partner. Tyler was the one who often scouted girls at events, texted Ethan coordinates, and cleaned up afterward. From Ethan's confession, Tyler always had my back. He made sure no one talked. Alex began surveillance on Tyler the next week. He lived in Tribeca, penthouse apartment, drove a matte black Porsche. Routine: gym at 6 a.m, office by 9, drinks every Thursday at a members-only club in Soho. Alex got a job as a cocktail waitress at that club. Fake ID, references from a friend in the industry. She dyed her hair back to blonde, wore contacts, changed her makeup. Lena Voss became Claire, the new girl with a shy smile and perfect memory for orders. She watched Tyler for 3 weeks. He was loud, entitled, always tipping big to impress. He bragged about deals, women, power. One night, drunk, he cornered a new bartender in the hallway. Alex intervened, spilled a tray accidentally, apologized profusely. The bartender thanked her later. That was the opening. The room stirred. A Saudi prince in the front row bid immediately, $2.1 million. A Russian oligarch countered, 2.3. Bids climbed fast, 2.5, 2.8, $3 million. Jack raised his paddle slowly. 3.5. Heads turned. The MC nodded. 3.5 to the gentleman in row 3. The Saudi went to $3.70. Jack countered $4 million. The Russian laughed and bid 4.2. The room buzzed. This was getting interesting. Emily swayed on stage, trying to focus. For a split second, her eyes found Jack's. Recognition flickered, then confusion. The drugs were strong. She didn't quite believe it was him. Jack's heart shattered all over again. The bidding hit $5.1 million. The MC looked ready to close. Then the lights flickered. Chaos. Jack had slipped a small EMP device, courtesy of Sam's black market contact, under his seat when he arrived. He triggered it remotely with the burner phone. The room plunged into darkness. Alarms blared, phones died, security shouted. Jack was moving before the first scream. He vaulted over seats, Glock drawn, suppressor screwed on. The first guard at the stage steps never saw him. 2 quick shots to the chest, silenced thumps. The man dropped. Jack reached the platform in seconds. Emily was crouched, hands over her head. He cut the cords with the K-bar, scooped her up. She was light, limp. "Dad?" she whispered, voice slurred. "I've got you, Em. Hold on." Gunfire erupted. guards firing blind in the dark. Jack fired back, dropping 2 more. He carried Emily toward the side exit, kicking open a service door. They burst into a hallway lit by emergency red lights. Alarms wailed. Footsteps pounded behind. Jack set Emily down gently against the wall. "Stay here. Don't move." He turned the corner. 3 men in tactical gear charged toward him. Jack dropped to one knee, aimed, fired. Headshot, chest, chest. All 3 down. He went back for Emily. She was crying now, shaking. They hurt me, Dad. Shh, later. We're leaving." He lifted her again, moved fast through service corridors. He knew the layout. Sam had sent blueprints. They hit a stairwell, descended 2 floors. On 26, he found a maintenance room. He barricaded the door with a metal cabinet. Emily was coming around a little. "How did you find me?" "Doesn't matter. You're safe now." But he knew it wasn't over. Victor would lock down the building. They had minutes. Jack pulled out the burner, called Sam. "Extraction. Golden Mirage. 26th floor maintenance. Now." 2 minutes. Black Suburban at the loading dock. But Jack, Victor's men are swarming, and he's pissed. "Good," Jack said. He hung up. He checked Emily's pulse. Steady. No major wounds. Bruises, cuts, but alive. Footsteps outside. Voices in Russian. Jack positioned himself by the door, Glock ready. The door rattled. Someone tried to force it. Jack waited. The cabinet shifted. A shoulder slammed through. Jack fired through the gap. 3 rounds. Screams. Then silence. He waited 10 more seconds, then opened the door. 2 bodies on the floor. He dragged them inside, locked the door again. Emily stared at the blood. "Dad, you killed them." "Yes." She didn't say anything else. 2 minutes later, Sam's voice crackled on the burner. "Doc, move." Jack carried Emily down the last stairs. They emerged into the underground loading area. Delivery trucks, garbage bins, dim fluorescent lights. A black Suburban idled, lights off. Sam was behind the wheel. Another man, ex-Delta, Sam's muscle, stood guard with an AR-15. Jack put Emily in the back seat. She curled up, shivering. Sam looked at Jack. "You got her. Now get out of here." "Not yet," Jack said. Sam's eyes widened. "Jack, no. You can't take on the whole syndicate alone." "I'm not alone." Jack tapped his chest, where Emily's photo rested. "And they took something from me. I'm taking everything from them." Sam sighed. "At least take this." He handed over a duffel. Inside, more weapons, cash, fake passports, a laptop with syndicate intel Sam had hacked. Jack nodded once. "Get her to the safe house in Reno. Doctor on call. Don't let anyone near her." Sam looked at Emily, then back at Jack. "What about you?" Jack's face was stone. "I'm going hunting." He kissed Emily's forehead. She was half asleep, murmuring, "Dad, don't leave." "I'll be back, kid. Promise." He closed the door. The Suburban peeled out. Jack stood alone in the loading dock. Sirens wailed in the distance. He disappeared into the shadows of Vegas, a ghost with a list. First name on that list, the doctor who doped the girls. Second, the auction manager. Third, Victor Dragomir. He would take them one by one, and when he was done, the syndicate would be ash. Jack walked into the neon night, the weight of the Glock comforting against his ankle. The hunt had truly begun. The neon of Las Vegas faded in Jack's rearview mirror as he drove north on US 95 toward Reno. But his mind stayed locked on the city behind him. Emily was safe, for now, in Sam's off-grid safe house in the Sierra Nevada foothills. A former black site medic was waiting there to check her over, flush the sedatives from her system, and start the long process of stitching her back together emotionally. Jack had spoken to her once on a secure line before leaving Vegas. Her voice was small, cracked. "Daddy, come back soon." "I will, Em. First, I have to make sure no one ever tries this again." He hung up before she could argue. Mercy wasn't an option anymore. Sam's laptop sat on the passenger seat, open to the encrypted files he'd compiled on the syndicate. Victor Dragomir's organization was more than a trafficking ring. It was a multinational corporation of cruelty. Shell companies in Cyprus, real estate in Dubai, private jets registered in the Caymans. Victor himself was ex-Spetsnaz GRU, decorated in Chechnya, then dishonorably discharged after a massacre that never made the news. He'd reinvented himself in the West as a security consultant for oligarchs and despots. The syndicate's premium auctions were his crown jewel, girls sold to men who could afford to make them disappear forever. Jack's first target? Dr. Elias Moreau, the syndicate's on-call physician, French-born, educated at the Sorbonne, disgraced after selling experimental sedatives to cartels in Mexico. Now he kept the merchandise docile and presentable. According to Sam's intel, Moreau lived in a gated community in Henderson, just south of Vegas. He rarely left the house except for house calls. Jack arrived at 3:17 a.m. The neighborhood was quiet. Manicured lawns, motion sensor lights, security cameras on every driveway. He parked 2 streets over, walked in wearing dark coveralls and a baseball cap pulled low. A silenced .22 Ruger with subsonic rounds was tucked in his waistband, quiet enough not to wake the neighbors. Moreau's house was a modern glass and steel box. Jack bypassed the gate with a cloned RFID fob Sam had provided. The back patio door was locked, but the lock was cheap. 30 seconds with the pick set, and he was inside. The house smelled of antiseptic and expensive cologne. Jack moved silently through the kitchen, past a wine fridge stocked with Bordeaux. Upstairs, light spilled from under the master bedroom door. He pushed it open. Moreau was awake, sitting at a desk in silk pajamas, reviewing patient files on a tablet. He looked up, startled. "Who the hell?" Jack crossed the room in 3 strides, pressed the Ruger to Moreau's temple. Quiet. Hands on the desk. Moreau complied, trembling. "You're the father from the auction." Jack dragged a chair over, sat facing him. "You drugged my daughter. You kept her quiet while they paraded her like meat." "I only follow orders, I don't—" Jack backhanded him with the pistol grip. Moreau's lips split. Blood dripped onto the desk. "Tell me everything. Names, locations, payment accounts, Victor's schedule. You talk, you might live. You lie, you die slow." Moreau talked. He gave Jack the location of 3 more safe houses, one in Phoenix, one in Salt Lake City, one in Albuquerque. He listed the top buyers from the past year, names Jack recognized from Forbes lists and congressional hearings. He handed over login credentials for the syndicate's dark web portal, and he confirmed Victor's personal schedule. The boss was flying to Moscow tomorrow night for a meeting with new investors. Jack recorded every word. When Moreau finished, he looked hopeful. "That's everything. Please, I can disappear. I won't—" Jack stood. "You hurt children for money. There's no disappearing from that." He fired once, center mass. Moreau slumped forward, dead before he hit the desk. Jack wiped the gun, left it in Moreau's hand, staged as suicide. He took the tablet, downloaded everything to an encrypted drive, and slipped out the way he came. First blood. He drove through the night, heading east toward Phoenix. Sleep came in snatches at rest stops, propped against the steering wheel. He dreamed of Emily as a little girl, laughing on the porch swing. Then the dream shifted, her face bruised, eyes pleading. He woke sweating, checked the burner for updates from Sam. Emily was eating, talking a little. Nightmares every few hours, but she was fighting them. Good girl. Phoenix Safe House was a nondescript warehouse in an industrial park near Sky Harbor Airport. According to Moreau, it was the syndicate's main staging point for West Coast abductions. Girls held there for days before transport to auctions. Jack arrived at dusk. He parked a half-mile away, hiked in through scrub brush. The building had 2 visible guards, both armed with AKs. Floodlights swept the perimeter. He waited for the shift change at 8 p.m. One guard left for a smoke break behind the dumpster. Jack moved like a shadow. He came up behind the smoker, snapped his neck with a quick, practiced twist. The body dropped silently. Jack dragged it behind the bins, took the man's radio and sidearm.